I'm going to try and move it along. So may I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So
So
Oh,
moved.
actually, sorry, one quick thing. I just want to make a quick add-on under new business of 25 and 27 North Main Street. After that, so may I get a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved.
Second,
second,
thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
And may I get a motion to approve the minutes of, where are we here, of March 21st?
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, so new business, couple things are on the agenda here. That 25 and 27 North Main Streets are two applications that just sort of came in at the very last minute. Obviously, we need more details, but just to at least get them on the agenda of works in progress that I imagine will be on next month's calendar and stuff. Both are looking into setting up an ice cream sort of operation. One's ice cream, one is going to be sushi and something else. But both operations are slated to go, they're looking to go into the Kent Town Center. So just to let everybody know that that's going to be on the calendar for next month and more details to come in as we get their application. We sent out a letter from Jeff Sankowitz. I spoke with him because the grease trap regulation, and we had a couple of years ago when we were dealing with Swift and with Kent Coffee and Chocolate, which are both class 3 operations. We were very strict about making sure that instead of putting an under-the-counter grease trap in, that we were really insistent on them tying in their grease lines into an in-ground grease trap. And the situation with Swift was such that they did have one, they were putting one in, and they had something that they were doing in a lower basement, and they wanted to put an under-the-counter grease trap in that basement area. And we just said, as long as you've got that building all opened up, that you need to tie. First of all, no one's going to clean it. I mean, you can tell me you're going to clean it, but those things are beyond disgusting. And then the routine that you have to go through, and then the inspections that the commission has to do on top of it all, would just make it easier if you put the in-ground grease trap in. So both of those restaurants, you know, with class, I think, I'm not sure if Kent Coffee and Chocolate is a 4, but I know Swift is a 4, and both of them did comply and put in-ground grease traps and tied in all the piping into that. So going forward, having talked with Kathy Weber, at some point within the next 6 to 9 months, year on the outside, they are planning on including all class 2 food service establishments into that same regulation of requiring an in-ground grease trap, unless for some absolutely outside reason they cannot do it. Then they would be permitted to put in an under-the-counter grease trap, and it would be only at the final decision of the commission. So Jeff, I don't know if you've all read it, but Jeff wrote together a piece on fog interceptors and fog management, and adapted what we had as a regulation and put in the new changes that we had asked for, because there have been requests to put in underground grease or under the counter grease traps into places that are already class 4 establishments. And I just don't want to break that precedent. And, you know, I know the system down at the sewer plant is very tenuous, and I just didn't want to go back down that road that we had been down before, where grease just keeps getting into the plant. So have you all had a chance to read that regulation that he wrote and amended? And
Yes.
Does anybody feel strongly against it, or any conversation on it that I think we should all be in agreement on? But you know, if anybody has something to say, I would love to hear what you want to add in, or if you think something's missing from it, you know. Okay, so if that is the case, may I get a motion to approve this amended regulation to go into the Kent Sewer regulations?
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second.
Thanks, Kathy. Okay, so now that the commission has approved it, we need to have a hearing on this. And I was hoping that we could do the hearing on Tuesday, May 2nd at 4 o'clock. Because we have to warn the meeting. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to show up for it, but if they do, I would like to have that hearing before the next meeting, and then we can finalize the meeting, finalize that motion on May 9th.
So would it be an in-person meeting on the 2nd?
Well, four of us need to show up or on the board.
Okay,
And then anybody who either has something they want to object to it or whatever needs to appear at that hearing and then voice that opinion. And then we take whatever they say into consideration and go from there.
okay.
So I'm asking to see if you all might be able to, I know it's a pain in the neck, but
Good for me.
if somebody has a better time, I just want to do it before the May 11th meeting. That's all.
Can you give me the date again?
It would be on Tuesday, May 2nd at 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Yep. And then our regular meeting,
Would be May 11th at 4:30.
that's a Thursday.
Sorry, May 9th. I'm
May
sorry,
9th.
I'm looking
Nope.
at the wrong calendar. I apologize. So May 9th would be the regular meeting. So this way we could vote on that and have a hearing on May 2nd, a week before. That'd be great.
Got it.
Okay. Let's see, old business, 100 North Main Street. There is I don't know, if all of you been following the back and forth on emails between them and the sewer commission, but evidently they have this enormous outstanding bill that has been given to them from Aquarian Water. And they're not terribly happy about paying it. But I know, having just closed on a house on Maple Street, that when you close on the house, every bill is paid from who is selling the house. And so when Jeff bought that house, I don't know what he did to, spin up a $2,000 water bill, but that's his bill, not a sewer commission bill or a bill that the sewer commission can say, we can waive. So am I correct, Debbie? That's what you're going through and you wanted to,
Yes, I just need a little clout behind me. And so if I had the consensus of the commission that it was okay to say, look, you've got to pay this bill or don't proceed with your construction or whatever.
well, I will bring you a reminder of I don't think I was on the commission at that point. I might have been an alternate at that point. But I remember Jim Hennessy, who lived in the condos, who refused to pay his sewer bill. And it was like, this is your bill, this is no one else's bill. He ran up legal fees, he ran up interest. And at the very end of the day, he had to pay for all of it, which is a really stupid idea.
I agree. I have 4 tax sales going on now, and it's going to cost those people a lot of extra
And
money.
Lyle's been in touch with them at Aquarian, and the meter is absolutely fine. Aquarian has vouched for the meter, so it's not the meter. It's not like, so maybe he was filling his swimming pool. I mean, it could be, I don't know what he was doing, but all I know is that is his obligation.
Okay.
All right. I mean, if you need anything else from the commission, let me know, but that is, I mean, he owns it. Unfortunately.
Thank you. That's really what I needed to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I know, it's his, because when he bought that house, that bill was paid in full.
Oh, he paid the first 2 quarters. This is
But I'm just
just
saying, I
the
know,
last third quarter bill
Yeah.
that he owes.
so I
Yeah,
don't know what he's doing with the water, but somewhere, I mean, either he's got some crazy leak happening up there or whatever, but the water meter is absolutely fine. It's not an Aquarian issue.
thank you.
Okay, so,
Thank
That-
you.
does that
That's
close
what I
that
needed to hear.
okay. 88 North Main Street. Are we finished with 100 North Main? Debbie, we're good with that? I guess so. Okay.
Yes,
Eight-
yes.
88 North Main Street is the old Starbucks building, which is now going to be the Firefly Inn. And they are, they've got to work through this issue with putting in their sewer line and getting things all attached properly, getting the gutters that are evidently attached into the present sewer line, get those taken out of that. And then I guess then they have to finish their, the inspection process, and that's where they stand right now. Lyle, is that pretty
Yes.
accurate on those guys?
I believe so.
Okay,
I don't have anything to add anyways.
okay.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
I have been charging them all along because they never disconnected from the sewer. So they've been getting one commercial rate all of this time because that's what we did with bed and breakfast. Will that rate change from a commercial to something else, or it will just continue to be
No.
one commercial rate?
It's one commercial rate.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
what I
because
need
it's a
to know about that.
business. It's a business. I mean,
Yep.
it's zone commercial. It's a business, and when he gets his reduced to residential, call me and I'll apply for the hotel for me to go residential. Okay.
Good to know. Thank you.
Next one, 14 North Main Street, Kingsley Tavern. I had a little bit of a problem getting Bart to get there. I mean, he has an enormous schedule and he finally did meet with her, but she was another one who wanted to put a Big Dipper grease trap underneath this random sink. And she said at a later date, she will come back and apply to the commission and deal with it. And so we signed off on her application so she could finish construction and get ready to open. I think she's opening tonight, to be honest. So if she decides at some point, or the commission decides at some point that needs to be tied into the grease trap, depending upon what she's doing, then we will move forward with it then. But at the present moment, we signed off on her application and she's able to open tonight for business. Sewer plant roof. We've not heard back. Lyle's been in touch with him. This is probably something you should address, Lyle, because you've been in touch with the guy more than I have.
Okay, and nothing's really changed from the last meeting. Everything's still in progress as far as the drawing with the stamp on it and whatnot. I did speak with him about solar panels on the roof, and the roof won't support the weight of solar panels. So moving forward, if solar is the direction we want to go with a plant, it would have to be a freestanding units, either out in the field or out on the lawn. But basically, that's all I have to add
Okay.
as far as the roof goes.
All right, so we will wait to hear from him, but I would really like, if you can sort of push him, because I would really love to get this project going while it's
Right.
summertime and not do it during the winter. That would be ideal.
Okay.
Rate increase is gonna have to wait till Barbara's been immensely busy, and she and I are gonna sit down, hammer out the budget this end of this week, and then we will figure how to figure out the structure of the rate increase and then deal with the budget and then bring it back to the main meeting. Club Getaway. He has still not gotten approval yet. I mean, he's gotten his general permit from the state renewed, so he's good in that department. And he's been sort of doing some battle with the zoning board about a renewable special permit. And so since he's a kind of a non-conforming entity, he's trying to get all of these parts put together. He's kind of in the home stretch, but he doesn't want to start his multi-million-dollar project attaching to the sewer line until all the permits are in order, and he shall hopefully have that within within the next 2 or 3 zoning meetings and stuff. He's well on the road to getting it all set up and stuff. Because there's never been a club regulation in zoning, that's where the fly in the ointment is. But he is working on getting them to write a regulation so that, he's covered on a couple of different levels. And then when he has a special event, then he would have to go to the zoning board and apply for a special permit. So that's where David is at Club Getaway, but he is definitely planning on coming onto the sewer line, hopefully within the year, which would be amazing. Let's see, that's it for me. Lyle, your report, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Last month, we had 1.6 million gallons total flow through the plant. Of that total, 53,000 gallons per day was the average. 593,000 gallons came from Kent School. Average BOD removal rate was 98%, and the total suspended solids removal rate was 97%. And our average is pretty much usual, holding for pH at 7.4. Currently have 1 effluent bed drying, 1 is in use, and 2 are ready for use. Grant continues with his studies. He received a 92 and a 94 on his next 2 tests from the Sacramento wastewater course. And he's still
Awesome.
very, very enthused about the job and studying. I was approached by Putnam Septic to dump at the plant for approximately 10 days at the end of the month due to Danbury shutting down their septage receiving temporarily. At this juncture, we're just starting to come into, into the spring as far as being able to pump our septage adequately. I would like to approve them to dump those 10 days. If everybody else is in agreement.
I don't have an issue with it only because Danbury is shutting down for 10 days.
Correct.
If he was like a drive-by, it would be a different situation, but because they are shutting down, I don't have an issue with him, bringing septage up to Kent. That's the problem. Is it just one, or are there more of them down there that are running into that problem?
I haven't heard anything more from anybody.
Okay,
He just reached out and asked if we could help him out. He's got 1 small truck that he runs. Completely full, it would be 2,500 gallons, but they won't fill completely because then you run into the problem of lock vacuum and whatnot. So he said it wouldn't be more than 2,000 gallons each time he came in.
I don't see that a problem. Does anybody else have anything on that or concern? You're muted, Kathy.
Yep. What, I don't know if we want to empower Lyle in the next couple of weeks, if he gets more people before our next meeting to say yes or no.
I
That'd be-
don't have a problem with that only because the septage fees have been so off. So I think any income, extra income we can pick up right now is certainly a good thing. So, yeah. Is that all right, Lyle?
Yeah, I was just
Just
going to
let me
add.
know. Just keep me posted if you get more, just so we can keep track of it. That's all.
Okay, like I said, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I was for it, but I also wanted to establish that, it's a small amount and it's not a long duration thing like others have approached us. And that's why I was saying to agree to it for the 10 days.
Oh, no. And if it was New Milford and they were closing for 10 days and they needed some help, I would say yes to that too, or I wouldn't have an issue with that either. It's just, it's a finite amount of time and
Yes,
it's not like 1,000 people, it's just, it's kind of random. So that's fine.
okay, I agree. One last thing, the sewer line from the office building here needs to be dug up. We have roots in the line. And it's been a recurring problem, but it's gotten worse now. So I need to get it dug up. It's been going on and off for the past couple of years, and I would have the electric snake guy come and get the roots out. But it's happening frequently enough now that I'd like to have it repaired. I was putting it off because, when we put the tank out here, that line is going to have to be moved anyways. So I was hesitant on getting it done, but as the can gets kicked down the road, so to speak, on our new tank, it's becoming a problem now. Like even rinsing out my lab containers, so I rinse them out in the sink and throw the water outside. You run the sink and it comes out of the floor drain in the bathroom.
How much do you think it'll?
I got a quote from
Who's gonna do the work?
Will Gowell. I got a quote for $1,800 as the high water mark, so to speak.
Okay. Well,
So I would like to get approval for that if possible.
So moved.
got to do it.
Yeah.
Second, thank you all. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just let me know when he finishes.
I will.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Barbara. You're up. We're,
Barbara's she was unable to attend today's meeting, but she did send in the reports. and
Okay.
She'll be looking for an approval for the distribution.
okay, so I did look at them. Did everybody get a chance to take a look? Can we approve the check disbursement journal for her then? So that she can write all the checks? They have a
So moved.
motion. Thank you. Second. Thanks, Kathy. Debbie is still here. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the fourth quarter bills will be going out in May. If there's anything the commission wants to send to everyone, type it up and I'll stick it in the envelope. It's a good time to reach all of the customers. And otherwise, I'm fine. As long as you settled 100 North Main, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
It's obvious, I know, but
I know some people are just a little slower on that department there, you know. But I think by
Thank you.
waiting it out, it'll change, and it's not going to change, unfortunately. I mean, it's like the same thing with the Ewers, you know, they went wild with that water hose, and it's like, you know, got to pay attention to that stuff. It's expensive. Okay, and no Bart. So unless anybody has anything else to add in, I think we're good till we have that special meeting, which will be on Tuesday, May 2nd at 4 o'clock.
Melissa, real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
get in there. We were supposed to coordinate with the planning and zoning and the sewer commission for a form to fill out for everybody. Has that been complete?
Joyce and I are about to, I've been digging out some information, because what happens is, for me, what's frustrating when I see these applications come in and people, and we don't know where we're going. So Joyce and I this week are going to work on a timeline. And I started this with Bart, but he misunderstood what I was asking. Of just saying, like, if you want to get a permit to discharge, you need to bring the commission, you know, this and this information. If you want to do a lateral, if you need an inspection, this is the information we need. The same thing for a permit to connect, and then a permit for a grease trap. And make sure that, you know, that Torrington Area Health, the zoning board, everybody is on that form. And we're going to see if we can simplify the form, and then the initial form, and then spell out all the details that Bart needs in maybe a different format, so it's not so confusing. And make sure when, like, for example, when Anna came from Kingsley, to make sure you bring the architectural drawings with you, or you at least know you have to provide those to the sewer commission, so that, one, you know, we can want to prove it, but two, that going down the road, we know where all these laterals and pipes are, so that when there's a problem, we have a record of it. So that's kind of that's part of the reason. So yes, I totally agree of that. There needs to be just a better timeline spelled out, like, you know, like, who's the agent? Well, the agent's the property owner, but you would never know that. You know, you have to go and ask somebody what's an agent, you know. So we just want to simplify the process to make it clearer for people when they're signing on. Did that remotely answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Okay. And then, you know, and then this whole thing with the class, with going forward with class 2s going on to that regulation, just make sure that's all spelled out on those forms, so that people know what they need to do. And then the other thing is that we want to just clarify, like, a fee schedule, so people know when we need to have Bart go out on an inspection. This is the fee. If, you know, Lyle needs to go and read a meter, there's a fee attached to it. You know, these aren't, you know, free services anymore and stuff, you know. And I think if we can make those regulations a lot clearer to read, you know, the requirements that we need for the commission, it will be easier for the customers. Wow.
Also, maybe we can add on to that, if, for sewer commission approves, like an addition, so to speak, that, everything owed to the sewer commission is all caught up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just throwing that out there.
No, you're absolutely right. No, good, that's a really good point, because otherwise it just goes on and on and on. I mean, I know it's zoning, town zoning, you have to have all your real estate taxes paid before you can get a permit. So, or get approved for a permit, so,
Sure, we should follow suit.
Alyssa, Ed Mattson wants,
I'm sorry,
Ed Mattson wants to ask you a question.
far away, he's on mute though.
I think you're muted.
Okay. There you
I'm
go.
coming off. Hello, good afternoon. I don't mean to bug you or your meeting, but I wanted to praise Lyle for all his help with trying to figure out the meter situation up at 100 North. But I do have a question about when is the meter supposed to be read for the irrigation and the pool fill meter that was installed for the non-charged water? Is that supposed to be every quarter and sent to Debbie?
And that should be read every quarter. And then what I do is I take that number and subtract it from the number I get from Aquarian and send
Correct.
him
There
out
a
a
certain
corrected.
date? Is there a certain date when the quarter runs so I can start making sure you get it on time?
Sure, I'll send you the schedule.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay. Okay, that's all
Thank
my
you, and
questions.
thank you for helping navigate that too. We appreciate it. I know it's hard for people to understand certain things that are that we need for the commission, but thank you for working on that.
Well, there's definitely a major problem there, so it's but it's got to be on the opposite side somewhere, so.
Yeah,
Okay, I appreciate it.
you're welcome. Anytime.
Said,
Okay, I guess we are finished at 4:57. Anybody have anything else, or we're good?
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you on May 2nd, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
here, everybody.
Thank you.